Professional wrestling is the one true sport. Other sports have their share of intense, dramatic moments, but nothing can compare with professional wrestling. Welcome to Wrestling History X, where three friends come together to talk about the stories behind the matches. I'm Matt.
And I'm just a hack.
And this is episode 356, Spring Stampede, 1999.
The good, the bad, the showdown.
That's right. Spring Stampede, WCW. Are you ready?
I'm ready. They have a pretty decent tagline. They have a new logo that looks like cat's butthole.
The new logo has premiered. That's right. Since the last time we
I know.
watched the WCW show.
Every time I see it, it blows my mind. It's so horrific. And what's funny is that it's a new logo, but then the Spring Stampede logo adds little horns to it because of a stampede. So they give it like longhorn curve at the end. Love to see them trying.
This is the fourth Spring Stampede produced by WCW. It would take place on April 11th, 1999, from the Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington.
Feels like we're never in the PNW, the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah. Had an attendance of 17,690 and a buy rate of 255,000.
Little weak on the buy rate.
I mean, it's definitely going down from what they've had the last few times.
Yeah. Also, we're just coming off of
WrestleMania having 800.
Which if you listened last week, we don't necessarily believe that they earned that 800.
No, definitely not. But we are in Tacoma, Washington, and in our culinary trip around the world. Since Shane couldn't be here with us tonight, we put our minds together, and we were like, what is Washington known for? It's the apple state, guys.
So we decided we're not just going to go buy and crunch a bunch of apples. We're just going to talk about our favorite apples. There's so many different types of apples. This might be the funniest segment in hindsight. So, Matt, what's your relationship with the apple?
I mean, I like apples. I'm actually a big fan of them. I actually had one just the other day. I was getting ready, and I was just like, oh, there's an apple over there. I was like, I'm going to cut that up and eat it today.
And what kind of apple was it?
I believe it was a Red Delicious, as what most people buy, because I got it in my stocking at Christmas time. My mom likes to put it in there to make it look like there's an actual foot in the stocking, that kind of thing. As
a kid, I feel like all the apples in my house were the crummy, mealy, waxy Macintosh apple, which are terrible. Red Delicious, good apple. Macintosh apples, I don't know why they exist. I think there was less apples when I was a kid.
They're good for pies and applesauce.
Yeah, but
people use not great for.
But people use Granny Smith a lot for pies these days, right?
They do. Those are good for baking as well.
Yeah. But my personal choice would be the obvious take of the Honeycrisp, but then I would go Pink Lady or Gala. Green Granny Smith's good.
Granny Smith's probably my favorite, but there's some people that don't like Granny Smith's for some reason.
Why? Because they're a little sour?
I guess. Sour. So usually, I know with my wife, I'm like, if we're going to buy apples, I'm like, let's get some Fuji.
Fuji's good?
I like the Fuji apple.
Most apples are good.
I mean,
Fuji apple's good?
You can't really go wrong with an apple most times.
Mm-hmm. I think they kind of gotten a little crazy. They peaked with the Honeycrisp, and then they were like, what about the Cosmic Crisp? And I'm like, what are we doing here anymore? You just made this up in a lab. There's no way that... Yeah, it's how many different apples do we need? How much of the grocery store are you going to take up?
I know. I pulled up a picture.
Yeah,
and it had
list of apples.
It had 25 different kinds of apples, and I'm just like, really? I'm like, okay. I mean, sure. I'm sure there are, but
yeah,
Granny Smith's the only green apple that I know, and there was 5 of them. And then there's yellow apples. I don't think I've ever had a yellow apple.
I've had a yellow apple. They're not memorable, but maybe they've gotten better because like the Honeycrisp isn't that old, and that's.
I mean, you mentioned the
apple.
Cosmic Crisp earlier.
Yeah, I think that is where we've jumped the shark.
This thing says it's a modern favorite.
Yeah, I think we should have just stopped at the Honeycrisp, but I think that apple got so popular that they, because it's so very good, that they were like, all right, what's next? Because these not evil necessarily, but scientists, they think about what they can do and not what we should do, constantly pushing things a little too far. And I think the Cosmic Crisp is among those blunders.
I mean, you mentioned earlier when we were kind of like some accoutrements, like some peanut butter.
Apple and peanut butter.
Apple and peanut butter is always a good choice.
It's incredible. Apple and cheese, or maybe just like a string cheese while you're eating the apple.
I was literally going to say a nice little baked brie.
Yeah,
and some
absolutely.
apple.
Yeah.
It's very, very good.
But cheese and peanut butter are kind of like different sides of the
savory
same coin.
And the savory and the sweet, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what Washington's known for is the apple, because they are the apple state. So
yeah.
I was like, we can't go wrong with having an apple.
No, absolutely not.
It's good for you too. Keeps the dentist away, right?
That's what they say. I need to buy some more apples.
But something that would happen right around the same time as the Spring Stampede, a couple of movies would come to theaters the same weekend. Go and Never Been Kissed.
Is Go what's his name? Lockstock?
It's not Lockstock. It's Doug Liman.
I don't know Doug Liman.
Doug Liman did movies such as Swingers, Edge of Tomorrow, is it Jumper? Is that the movie where they're... Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that because they're jumping through...
So he's kind of a genre guy for hire? A journeyman?
I mean, he literally has done a little bit of everything.
Yeah. I've never seen Go.
Never seen Go.
No, I remember the poster. I remember the VHS tape. I feel like it's kind of a forgotten film. Nobody ever brings it up. Is it good?
I think it is pretty good.
Is it high energy, like in the same way or in a similar way to? Because in my head, I think of it as what's his name? The Lock, Stock, Snatch guy. Not Matthew Vaughn.
We literally talked about this like 2 weeks ago.
I know, and I can't think of his name.
And blanking on it.
I keep wanting to say Matthew Vaughn, but Matthew Vaughn's just a bad version of him.
Guy Ritchie.
I always thought Go was like a Guy Ritchie-esque movie. If it was, and I also kind of just thought it was one of his films.
So I literally watched Go like just recently, and my review of it at that point was, this is a teenage Pulp Fiction. It doesn't reach those heights.
No.
But it's still a quality
so
film.
So this is a post Pulp Fiction fallout still.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of movies like that from the 90s.
There's tons of names like in the cast of this movie that are people that you would recognize and like go, oh, okay. Sarah Polley, Jay Moore, Scott Wolf, Katie Holmes,
Luis Guzman?
Timothy Oliphant.
That was a guess.
I don't know if Guzman's in this or not.
It just feels like you would.
Taye Diggs is in it. But like it's basically it's like there's a drug deal is the main point of the movie, and it's basically shown from 3 different points of view.
A little Rashomon.
Yeah. Because you have the kids. One kid's trying to buy, one kid's trying to sell, that kind of thing. So I think it's definitely worth a watch if you're into those kind of movies.
Just like a grimy little genre picture.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's probably one of Lyman's best films. Unfortunately, like even though it's not like the best, but he's one of those guys. It's like
steady hand.
He's a steady hand. Like nothing is ever going to be amazing, but it's never going to be like outright trash. Oh, did he direct? Oh, he directed Born Identity.
Oh, okay.
That's right. I was like, I know there's something else, but why wouldn't Born Identity show up on his top 4?
Yeah, he's a true journeyman, as it
it's
sounds.
Like Roadhouse. Like he did the new Roadhouse.
Oh wow, a bummer for him.
Why would you have that on his top 4 and not Born Identity? That's just weird.
It might be the Google thing where they just kind of put out whatever been searched for more recently.
Possibly. And then we got Never Been Kissed. Have you seen Never Been Kissed?
No, I've seen parts of it on television. I'm well aware of the concept, which is bananas. And no offense to Drew Barrymore, but she definitely was not pulling off I look like a high school student in that movie.
No. She was definitely... I mean, at this point, she was 24?
When she looked 30.
23, 24, something like that.
I'm surprised she was that young.
I mean, she had been in Hollywood for a long time at that point, so...
Yeah, we all know the hard partying of Drew Barrymore.
Cast is kind of insane.
Have you seen it?
Oh, yeah.
Do you like it? Or is it just kind of a movie with rocks in its brain that's watchable?
Once again, it's another one of those, like, romantic teen comedies that it came out right at the right time for me.
Oh, yeah.
As I'm 18 years old, basically, when this comes out. And so it hit the right.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, at this point, Drew Barrymore is, she's still looking good. So, I mean, I think she's still attractive. Even now, 50 years old is what she probably is at this point.
I think the hottest she ever was in whatever movie where she has no lines. Whatever Batman movie where she has no lines.
Oh, where she's just the...
desk lady
or
something like that? Or she's
the ice lady or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah. That's the Schwarzenegger one? Is she in that one?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a much weaker list of movies than last week.
Yes, definitely.
But one is remembered for being kind of demented, and the other one is not remembered at all. But I as soon as you say go, I saw it and I was like, I know exactly what the poster looks like.
The thing is, I think most people they know what go is,
but they haven't seen it.
They probably haven't seen it. Well, I think a lot more people probably have seen Never Been Kissed than...
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. No, I'm saying a lot of people saw that one.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of remembered as like a bizarre premise.
Out of the... Go is probably the one that's probably more of a cult hit that found its way on video than it ever did in the theater.
Yeah.
So
it was really tough. And also this is quite a few years later, but we can get this made if we try to pitch something moderately similar to Pulp Fiction. Was a thing for a long time, and nothing really ever quite
nothing ever is going to be able to...
Yeah, but it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, you can use that, but then to get in or to get it greenlit, but then nobody ever does anything. If they do something interesting, then the movie didn't actually come out quite correctly.
Yeah.
We could talk about those movies all night.
But we should probably talk about Spring Stampede.
Absolutely, I think we should. As
you mentioned, we start with WCW's new logo.
Gabo.
Before going to a video package.
And this song sounds very Pantera-esque. I was like, this is pretty heavy for WCW. What is this riff?
And we see highlights of Flair, Hogan, DDP, Sting, Nash, and Goldberg. Followed by Tony Schiavone welcoming us to the show. Joined by Mike Tenay and Bobby the Brain Heenan. Discussing the main event and Nash versus Goldberg. But we go straight to our first match. Blitzkrieg versus Juventud Guerrera to become the number one contender for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship.
Who the fuck is Blitzkrieg?
It was that guy on screen.
Cool.
Yep.
We haven't seen him before.
We have never seen him before.
You don't know who he is?
He's a
luchador that is friends with Juventud Guerrera.
Became a wrestler and did some things. He's been in WCW for the last 6 months or so, kind of getting his stuff together. And he's finally hit pay-per-view.
Yeah.
We get back and forth action to start, using drop toe holds, ankle locks, headlocks, backbreakers, chops, and hurricanranas. When Blitzkrieg nails a handspring elbow into a corner, mounted punches, and goes for a turnbuckle smash, only for Juvi to block and reverse to slam Blitzkrieg's head several times. Guerrera springboards in from the apron with a drop kick, sending Blitzkrieg rolling out to regroup, but Juvi comes flying over the ropes with a splash on top of his opponent. Back inside, Guerrera keeps up the attack with a brain buster for a near fall, locks on a Romero special, only for Blitzkrieg to escape right into a pin attempt that gets a 2 count. A back kick and a drop kick sends Juvi to the floor, with Blitzkrieg climbing the turnbuckles. But Guerrera moves away, so Blitzkrieg runs to a different corner to fly out, only for Juvi to meet him in midair with a drop kick. And they roll in where Guerrera hits some chops, but Blitzkrieg fights back with an arm drag that tosses Juvi out, with his opponent delivering a springboard moonsault on top of a Guerrera.
Ooh, we're heating up.
Now back inside, Blitzkrieg goes for a powerbomb, which Juvi flips out of and goes for a slam, only for his opponent to counter into a reverse suplex. But Guerrera reverses it into an inverted neck breaker for a near fall. And Juvi places his opponent on the top to hit a super back suplex, only for Blitzkrieg to counter in midair to land on top of Guerrera, down on the mat. And Blitzkrieg climbs for a sky twister press, but Juvi rolls out of the way and goes for his finisher, only for his opponent to reverse into a cradle for a 2 count. Blitzkrieg then places Guerrera on the turnbuckles for a twisting Rana that gets an ear fall. Takes him up top again when Juvi catches him to hit the super Juvi driver for the pin and the win. And this will be the only time we ever see Blitzkrieg, as he would retire later in the year to work as a computer technician for WCW.
For how long? Just kidding. Yeah, it's not bad. It was nice for them to give this guy a spot, but it didn't really quite reach the highs of some of the junior opening matches, cruiserweight, if you will.
I liked it. I thought Blitzkrieg was interesting,
yeah.
But obviously it's the only time we'll see him, so sad that we won't see more of him, I think.
Yeah, he definitely feels like he has potential.
He was a fresh face in the division.
For sure. Not the worst way to start the show.
We then go to a video package for our next match, where we get highlights of Hack and Bam Bam Bigelow's interactions over the past few weeks, where the cane and fire extinguisher are used.
Yeah.
I bet those get used in this match.
Yeah, ECW's like, what if we just did ECW?
And we go to our second match, Hack with Chastity versus Bam Bam Bigelow in a hardcore match. And the Drunken One brings out a table, barbed wire, and the cane, while Bam Bam brings out an entire cart of plunder.
A la New Jack.
And Hack looks to attack in the aisle, only for Bigelow to run him over. Goes to use a trash can, but the Drunken One shoves the cart back into him, picking the weapon up himself to whack his opponent over the head. And they brawl towards the stage area where there's a stagecoach, bales of hay, and fence posts all set up, where Hack has a table hidden, setting it up and placing Bam Bam on it. The Drunken One then climbs atop the wagon train to dive off with a somersault senton.
Pretty wild spot.
Send them crashing through the table, while Chastity is at ringside tossing the plunder into the squared circle. Bigelow's up first, and he smashes a piece of the table over Hack's head, followed by fighting their way to the ring and tossing his opponent into the side of the cart. Bam Bam grabs a crutch to hit the Drunken One with before tossing him into the ring, where Hack delivers a trash can shot and slams Bigelow's head into a chair on the mat. The Drunken One then grabs the table he brought out, where he bridges the apron and the railing, only to get plastered by a garbage can, a cookie sheet, a broom, a salad bowl, and another trash can when he re-enters the ring. Bam Bam goes for a suplex, but he can't get up Hack, so they just fall to the mat, where the Drunken One rolls out to grab a ladder from under the ring. Bigelow then hits Hack again as he enters, slamming his head into the turnbuckle before grabbing the ladder, only for his opponent to drop kick and slam it onto Bam Bam. Hack then climbs to the top, coming off with a senton onto the ladder, which is laid upon Bigelow, followed by a bulldog onto the apparatus as well. And the Drunken One rolls out to grab another table and a guardrail, throwing them into the ring, before returning for the two men to exchange strikes until Hack can crack Bigelow with another trash can shot.
We get it.
And the Drunken One sets up the ladder to climb, but Bam Bam yanks on it, which sends Hack flying off through the table on the outside, giving Bigelow time to set the apparatus and railing, leaning against opposite corners. Bam Bam then tosses the drunken one into the ladder and nails a trash can shot, when Hack fires up with a crutch to slam Bigelow onto the railing. And the drunken one comes off the top with a leg drop, only for Bam Bam to move in time, picking up the railing, when Chastity takes her time getting into the ring with the fire extinguisher.
Takes her time.
Like Bam Bam's literally standing there, like holding it above his head, and like
he's like,
where you at? Where you at?
Mm-hmm.
And the extinguisher misfires, so Bigelow slams the railing onto his opponent and grabs it to use, basically firing it at Chastity upper bumhole to knock her out of the ring. And the distraction allows Hack to recover, nailing a Singapore cane shot and a white Russian leg sweep onto the railing before they fight to the top of the turnbuckle, which Bam Bam wins to deliver greetings from Asbury Park through a table for the pin and the win.
I love that the announcers recap and Tony Schiavone says, "Don't try this in your living room." And Bobby says, "Try it in your front yard." But yeah, more well-shot version of a thing we've seen.
Yeah, pretty much. Though I do think it was much better than their triple threat match that they had last month.
Yeah, I can go there with you.
But we go to our third match, which was an unannounced addition to the pay-per-view.
Okay.
Scotty Riggs.
Oh my God.
Versus Mikey Whipwreck. And we haven't seen Riggs since World War III, 1998, episode 330. And he's taken on a narcissistic gimmick.
Yeah, he's doing a... he also looks to have put on some weight, and I don't mean that in a bad way. He looks beefy. Yep. He is ripped, and...
his eye grew back, too.
His eye did grow back. But he's kind of doing a Rick Rude Val Venus.
Yep.
You could name...
Lex Luger.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, he's doing the thing.
Yep. And Riggs controls early on with a scoop slam and a drop toe hold, only for Mikey to answer back with slaps, mounted punches, a leaping back elbow, clothesline, and a drop kick that sends Scotty stumbling to the floor. And Whipwreck gives chase to whip his opponent into a guardrail before rolling him back in for a guillotine leg drop across the bottom rope. And Riggs rolls out again to regroup, but Mikey nails a baseball slide drop kick and a slingshot hurricanrana, followed by another leg drop attempt that Scotty avoids, leaving Whipwreck on the apron, so Riggs knocks him off into the railing. Now back inside, Scotty continues the punishment with a top rope double axe handle and a drop kick before chokes and a slam for a 2 count. Riggs sends Mikey to a corner and charges into a big boot, followed by Whipwreck leaping off the second with a drop kick and a side Russian leg sweep for a near fall. Mikey then delivers a Rana for the pin, and no, Scotty gets a boot on the ropes before whipping his opponent to the ropes, where the two miss and duck clotheslines when Riggs bounces back with a leaping forearm for the pin and the win.
Winning with a leaping forearm.
I mean, like I said, he's Luger now.
Yeah. I was reading more Rick Rude, but the finish proves you right, my friend.
We then go to a video package about our next match, where Disco Inferno made a music video that would make fun of Konnan. So we kind of got disco versus rap.
Yeah, which is funny because disco is kind of a precursor to rap music, and it was disco versus rock and roll, and then rock music versus rap music. I don't think disco versus rap was ever a thing, as one kind of led into the other.
But that takes us to our fourth match, Konnan versus Disco Inferno. And K-Dog takes the mic to run down Disco's attire, calling him a scrub, along with his normal odelays. And
yeah, he also says, you look like a straight up strawberry, I feel like. It's the thing he said. I was like, I don't know what that means. Is that call him a fruitcake or something? I don't quite get it.
And Disco Inferno doesn't take kindly, and he attacks his opponent, hitting a clothesline and climbing to the top, only for Konnan to be back on his feet, so he jumps down to whip K-Dog. But it's reversed, leading to Disco being dropped by a bulldog and a dropkick. Disco Inferno responds with back elbows, chokes, chin locks, clotheslines, and a second rope elbow drop for a 2 count before tossing Konnan to the floor. And Disco is shoved off into the ring post,
Posted,
slammed against the guardrail, and rolled back in, only to be the first one to their feet to deliver kicks and a fist drop for a near fall. Disco Inferno keeps up the attack with more chin locks, a scoop slam, and heads up top again. But K-Dog avoids the elbow drop, firing up to hit a rolling clothesline and the 1-8-7 for the pin. And no! Disco kicks out. Konnan with a roll-up for a 2 count, only to telegraph his next move, leading to be taken down by a swinging neckbreaker for a near fall. Disco Inferno then blocks a face buster and goes for the chart buster, but K-Dog blocks it and shoves Disco away, only to hit a stunner of his own for the pin and the win. Disco trying to steal the music video gimmick, so Konnan stole the chart buster.
And then lost to Stunner, which is not...
It's the chart buster. That's
okay,
what the chart
same
buster
thing.
is. Yeah.
All right. It happened, folks.
Yep, stole his finisher. So, but we go straight to our 5th match. Kidman versus Rey Mysterio Jr. for the WCW World Cruiserweight Championship.
Sounds good on paper. We've got our still maskless Rey.
And these two gentlemen had actually won the tag titles on the Nitro earlier in the week.
Ooh.
So they're teammates and partners, but they're going against each other for this belt. And they shake hands before locking up, going back and forth with shoulder blocks, monkey flips, head scissors, until a back body drop sends Rey over the ropes, with Billy following out with a slingshot plancha. Mysterio reverses a whip into a guardrail and charges in, only to get caught and dropped throat first on the railing. And they head into the ring where Kidman keeps Rey grounded with a chin lock, but Mysterio responds with the head scissors to send Billy to the floor. Goes for a moonsault off the apron, only for his opponent to catch him and try to drop him on the guardrail. But Rey wiggles free and shoves Kidman into the steel instead.
Oof.
Mysterio with another head scissors that takes Billy down to the concrete, while also hitting the ring steps himself. It sounded like his head, like...
No, it was nasty.
It was very bad.
It was not good.
But he follows that up with a springboard Thez press and a moonsault off the middle rope. Rey then tries for a springboard Rana, but Kidman counters into a running powerbomb for a 2 count.
Oof.
Before a series of backbreakers get a near fall. Billy then nails a sit-out powerbomb for a 2 count, throws Mysterio to the floor, and follows by a running shooting star press off the apron.
Which Mike Tenay calls a moonsault, and Tony corrects him, and it's the first time Tony Schiavone's ever been correct about anything.
At least over Mike Tenay.
Yeah. I mean, Mike Tenay he's the guy.
He's the professor.
He's the guy that should have Tony Schiavone's job, in my opinion. So I found that very comedic.
Tenay's the lead guy on Thunder.
Ooh.
Now.
I mean, hopefully it came with a bigger paycheck. I only want the best for Mike Tenay.
And they make their way back inside, where Kidman keeps up the attack with a body slam, climbs the turnbuckle, and flies off with a splash. But Rey meets him in midair with a dropkick.
Can you have a cruiser match or a junior match without, or a lightweight match?
The midair dropkick?
No, I don't think you can.
Mysterio places his opponent on the turnbuckle for a top rope bulldog for a near fall, followed by a spinning heel kick and a powerbomb, only for Billy to reverse into a back body drop. And Rey's sent to a corner, but he charges out, where Kidman catches and power slams Mysterio down for a 2 count, before slowing it down with a chin lock. Rey escapes and clotheslines his opponent out of the ring, followed by a springboard somersault senton, rolling Billy in and heading up top for a splash, only for Kidman to meet him with a clothesline that leaves them both down momentarily. We get another chin lock by Billy, with Rey firing up with elbows and a hurricanrana for a near fall, before putting a chin lock on himself, until he whips Kidman to a corner and charges in. But Billy avoids, causing Mysterio to hit shoulder first on the post.
Posted.
And Kidman goes for a powerbomb, but it's reversed into a face buster for a 2 count, followed by a reversed whip that sends Ray hard into a corner, with Billy catching him for a sit-out pedigree. And Kidman heads up top, but Mysterio meets him there, only for Billy to fight Ray off and nail a sunset flip powerbomb for the pin. And no, Mysterio kicks out. Kidman then sends Ray to a corner and charges into a big boot, with Mysterio delivering another top rope bulldog for the pin. And no, Billy kicks out. Ray goes for a back suplex, but Kidman floats over and hits a springboard bulldog for a near fall, before going for a crossbody, only for Mysterio to duck, which sends Billy crashing to the floor. And Ray leaps off the top with a guillotine leg drop as Kidman tries to get back in the ring, followed by a standing moonsault for a 2 count. And Mysterio continues with a power bomb, but Billy counters it into a facebuster, climbing the turnbuckles, only for Ray to trip him up, causing Kidman to crotch himself.
No.
Mysterio would then climb up and nail a Frankensteiner for the pin and the win. It was okay. Like, it's not their best match they've ever had against each other.
No, but I think it's maybe better than anything on WrestleMania 15.
I could see that, yeah.
As far as, like, in ring.
Yeah. We then go to footage from Nitro, where the Horsemen are destroying Raven, when Perry Saturn would come out to help his former leader, and they almost win the titles, before seeing footage of the new duo causing the Horsemen to lose the belts to Mysterio and Kidman. Then on this past week's Thunder, Saturn is rocket launched onto Benoit to put him through a table, followed by Raven moving in time, which causes the Crippler's flying headbutt to hit all chair. Oof. That takes us to our 6th match. The 4 Horsemen of Chris Benoit and Dean Malenko, with the enforcer Arn Anderson, versus Raven and Perry Saturn. And the former flock members bring a table with them, setting it up at ringside, before Perry starts it off with Benoit, who quickly sends him to the floor, where the Horsemen look to double team Saturn, but he fends them off to return to the ring and tagging in his partner. Raven and Perry with some double teams of their own to take the Crippler down, including a suplex splash combo and a drop toe hold elbow drop combo that gets a 2 count. And Benoit fights back with a drop kick that sends the tormented soul through the ropes to the floor, where Malenko and Anderson stomp away momentarily. Chops by the Crippler, double team spine buster by the Horsemen, vertical suplex by Dean for a near fall on Raven, followed by a leg lariat, bringing Benoit back, only for the tormented soul to cradle him up, but the ref's distracted by getting Malenko back to his corner. And the Crippler responds with an elbow drop and a back suplex, before taking Raven to his corner for quick tags and double teams by the Horsemen. And Dean keeps up the attack with a clothesline, whips the tormented soul to a corner and charges in, only to receive a big boot and a clothesline that takes both men down. Raven then crawls to his corner for the hot tag, with Saturn jumping in to clean house with forearms, suplexes, and mounted punches, including knocking the enforcer off the apron.
Don't do it, Arn.
When Malenko recovers to place Perry on the turnbuckles, but the tormented soul lifts Dean onto his shoulders for a crossbody from Saturn. Malenko's then picked up for the Death Valley Driver, when Benoit makes it back in to make the save, teaming up to nail a dropkick German suplex combo, only for Raven to come back in as well, taking the Crippler to the floor to brawl. Now inside the ring, Dean locks on the Texas Cloverleaf. Perry reaches the ropes to break the hold, getting to his feet and hitting the Death Valley Driver, only for Benoit to come flying in with a headbutt to break it up.
What a good friend.
And the Crippler chops away on Saturn, and delivering a backbreaker for a near fall, forcing Perry into their corner for the Horsemen to work him over, when Malenko would apply a sleeper, but the tormented soul finally makes his way in to break it up. Benoit tags in for a Northern Lights suplex that gets a 2 count, followed by tossing Saturn to the floor, where Dean stomps away before rolling their opponent in. And the Horsemen attempt a whip-aided clothesline into a corner, only for Perry to duck and charge out into a sunset flip of the crippler. But Malenko breaks it up with a basement dropkick.
Get him, Malenko.
Saturn fights out of a chinlock with a back suplex and makes the crawl to the corner for the hot tag. Raven cleans house with right hands, clotheslines Dean out of the ring when Perry tosses a chair in for the tormented soul to drop toe hold Benoit onto the steel. Saturn places Malenko on the table at ringside and heads up the turnbuckles, flying off with a splash, only for Arn to pull the Horsemen away in time, causing Perry to crash through.
And Perry crashes through this table like it is made of fucking like one layer of balsa wood. Yeah. He hits hard, and I don't know if I've seen a table shatter into that many pieces. It doesn't help that he is a ball of muscle.
Yeah. Dean jumps into the ring when Raven tries to hit him with the chair, but Malenko shoves it back into the tormented soul's face, followed by a whip, only for Raven to reverse it into an even flow DDT and makes a cover. But the ref's distracted by Anderson coming in to place a chair over the head of the tormented soul, when the crippler delivers a flying headbutt onto the steel and his opponent, with Dean rolling on top for the pin and the win.
This may have been the headbutt that caused
yes,
CTE bad enough to annihilate your family, and I say that not jokingly.
No, I literally...
It hurt to watch.
It very much hurt to watch. I am a big fan of Benoit, and watching that, I was just like, yeah, you did that way too many times, bro.
I mean, in this one, like, he gets up and he is bleeding, and they help him to the back, and, you know, he probably could have walked to the back, but wasn't worth the risk, because that was not... He did not blade after he did that. He just headbutted a steel chair into a man. Didn't fake it. There's no fake in this.
I don't think Raven got the... I don't know if Raven got the lesser end of that either, by any means.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think Benoit got the worst of it. But pretty brutal, but good match. Good wrestlers doing hard-hitting shit. Some of the most I've enjoyed Raven.
Yeah, Raven was pretty great in this.
I mean, he's also... It's like...
I mean, he may be the worst worker of the four of them, but he still put his working boots on and did his thing.
He rises to the occasion, but, like, yeah, he's not... I mean, you got three guys that are, like, legit great, and Saturn is... has no fear. The man's been coming out in getting cheered wearing leather dresses and, like, lizard eye contacts. He's... Yeah... What a man Perry Saturn is.
Tony then sends it to a video package about the U.S. Championship tournament. We see Ric Flair in the ring with Mean Gene, saying he couldn't find Scott Hall anywhere, he had won the belt at Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So the Nature Boy was stripping him of the title and saying that there would be a tournament to name a new champion.
Makes sense.
I think Mr.
Hall
was actually injured at this point. It wasn't a
relapse.
Wasn't a drug or alcohol thing. He actually legitimately was hurt, so he couldn't perform. We get highlights from some of the matches from the tournament, such as Ming and Bam Bam, Steiner versus Jericho, Booker T versus Saturn. We even see Lionheart finding a loophole so he can re-enter the tournament, only to lose to Booker T, leading to Big Papa Pump attacking the television champion several times. That takes us right to our seventh match. Scott Steiner,
Big Papa Pump,
versus Booker T in the finals for the vacant WCW United States Championship. And Big Papa Pump stalls at first around ringside, arguing with fans, until making his way in to stand face-to-face with his opponent.
Yeah, he was really making a meal of it.
Only to jump right back out to confront more fans.
Meal.
Once they get it started, they have some mat wrestling. Pretty fun.
Yeah, I love to see it.
When Booker T hits a drop kick and an arm drag that sends Steiner out to regroup. Big Papa Pump returns to work over Booker in a corner with right hands and elbows, whipping him to the ropes. But Booker T bounces back with a leaping forearm and a hook kick that sends Steiner crashing to the outside. And Booker follows out with a clothesline from the apron, running Big Papa Pump into several railings before returning the fight to the ring, keeping up the attack with strikes and clotheslines until Big Papa Pump crotches his opponent on the ropes to slow the momentum.
Not his chocolate salty balls.
And the fight goes back to ringside, where Booker T's run into a guardrail before Steiner grabs a chair to use across the back. Now back inside, Big Papa Pump continues the punishment with a clothesline, a backbreaker, belly-to-belly suplex, a low blow, and a bear hug into an overhead suplex.
Which I appreciated because the Booker T is taller than him. Both are muscular, but Big Papa Pump is the reason that we're going to hear a steroid chant. But I appreciated the bear hug. Didn't last too long, and then he turns it into an overhead suplex. That was kind of the way I'd like to see bear hug used more often in this time period. It's not 1982.
No. Steiner then picks up Booker for another suplex, only for it to be countered into a DDT, leading to both men bringing down momentarily. Now back to their feet, they exchange strikes when Booker T delivers a spin kick and a series of clotheslines, with the last one accidentally knocking the ref down.
Ref bomb.
As Big Papa Pump pulled him into the way.
He's bad, man.
Booker keeps up the attack with an axe kick and a flapjack. Spin-a-roonies up into a Harlem sidekick, making the cover, but the ref is still out. So Booker T picks up Johnny Boone, only for Steiner to just knock him out again.
Yep.
As he clotheslines him and his opponent. Big Papa Pump then whips Booker to the ropes and looks to leapfrog, but Booker T catches and drives him down with a spine buster.
Love to see it.
Before heading up top, only for Steiner to hit the ropes, causing his opponent to crotch himself. Big Papa Pump then climbs up to nail a Frankensteiner, dragging the ref over to help him make the count for the pin. And no, Booker gets his shoulder up.
Yeah, Steiner makes the cover, realizes it, pulls the ref towards him, and then slams the ref's hand on the mat.
Steiner then misses a clothesline and gets taken up into a vertical suplex. But he nails Booker T with a foreign object on his way down before dragging the ref into the ring to make a cover for the pin and the win. And new.
Yeah, the foreign object, they actually showed it in pretty good detail, and it just looked like two butter knives wrapped in a napkin. But yeah, it was just like a kind of a white stick that's like maybe 8 inches long, 7 inches, like not that big. But basically, when he lifted him up for the
vertical suplex,
for the suplex, Steiner, as he's going up, catches him in the throat with it. Was the idea, and it was pretty well photographed, but the foreign object was either shown too much or like a little lacking in like weight.
We go to the WCW.com booth where Rey Mysterio joins those guys with Mark Madden asking his thoughts about the match. But due to the crowd noise, you can't really understand anything that they're saying.
No, you can't hear it. It's just not mic'd loud enough. And the crowd is very loud here.
Well, it's almost like they had the mic mic'd up way too well and didn't have like the booth plugged into the system to be able to hear them.
There was definitely an issue. I don't think anybody... Also, what were they going to say? What's Ray going to really say?
It was a great match. I can't wait to fight Juventud Guerrera tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Tony then sends it to a video package about our next match, where we see highlights of Goldberg and Nash destroying many different opponents, including the Giant.
I mean, why wouldn't you use that footage? Roll that beautiful bean footage.
That takes us to our 8th match. Kevin Nash with Lex Luger and Miss Elizabeth versus Goldberg.
Goldberg needs a win after Nash ended the streak.
That's right. And Nash takes the mic to hype up the crowd before locking up, taking his opponent to a corner for knees, right hands, chokes, and elbows.
You've all seen Kevin Nash wrestle before.
Liz gets on the apron to distract the ref, allowing Kevin to hit Goldberg with a low blow, clotheslines, and a sidewalk slam for a 2 count, followed by more chokes, a running straddle, and turnbuckle smashes. Nash attempts a big boot, but Bill ducks and nails a flying shoulder block and slams Kevin down. The two look to exchange strikes in the middle of the ring, only for Goldberg to duck all of Nash's, delivering body shots and taking down Big Sexy with a hook kick. And Bill sets up for the spear, but Kevin leapfrogs it, sending Goldberg into the ref.
Ref bump.
Knocking him out.
I loved that because has anybody leapfrogged the spear before?
No.
It was...
and also that it's Kevin Nash with...
7 foot tall Kevin Nash.
Master of agility here.
Yeah,
Kevin Nash.
But it was just, it was...
if Rey Mysterio was getting the spear and he leapfrogged it, I'd be like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But it's fucking Kevin Nash leapfrogging, so it was kind of impressive.
It was an exciting moment for a marquee match.
Luger grabs a chair and smashes it across the back of Bill,
Boo.
leading to Nash setting up for the powerbomb, only for Goldberg to go low.
It was his turn.
Lex jumps in the ring, but Bill fends him off with a Manhattan drop and a big boot, followed by a spear and a jackhammer to Kevin for the pin and the win.
This was good.
Yeah, I had fun with it.
This was better than I expected. Goldberg working from underneath for most of the match, and then he got the win that everybody wanted to see and that he needed, because he needed to lose at one point, but then they just buried him by hitting him with cattle prods for a month.
Yep.
So this was necessary and I think well executed.
We go to a video package over our main event, which is just some highlights of our 4 competitors.
I mean, they're the 4 of the biggest guys in the company for...
It doesn't really show any
few
story bits of why this is a thing. No clue.
We need a main event. And
I can't even tell you why one of these people is even back. I couldn't. He just showed back up.
Assume he's no longer hurt, or he definitely was the reason that they sold some tickets, because early in the show, throughout other matches, you'd get moments where we'd hear we want Sting.
But that takes us to our 9th match. The Nature Boy, Ric Flair, versus Diamond Dallas Page, versus Hollywood Hogan,
brother, versus
Sting.
Woo!
In a 4 quarters match for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, with Macho Man Randy Savage, with Gorgeous George as the special guest referee.
I mean, this is loaded.
And we haven't seen Sting since Halloween Havoc 98, episode 327.
So 6 months, probably?
Yeah, something like that. And Savage, other than a clip on a Nitro, he hasn't performed in the ring since Great American Bash 98, episode 308.
So, yeah, almost a full year.
And the champ came out first. Foreshadowing.
Honestly, Macho Man comes out first, and he's looking bigger than ever. He looks like he just got done shooting the Spider-Man 1 scene.
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I don't remember when that came out.
Because he has a different... He looks more jacked, more roided, and then he's tanner, and he's got that later in life Macho Man swag, which means really ugly clothes and tank top. A lot of black.
So all 4 men just start brawling, with Hogan and Flair getting knocked out to the floor, while the Stinger applies a Scorpion Deathlock, only for DDP to reach the ropes. Page blocks an arm drag and reverses into a swinging neckbreaker, with Sting answering back with a clothesline, top rope clothesline, and a Stinger splash for the pin. And no, the Nature Boy makes the save. Hollywood and DDP start pounding on each other, while Sting press slams Nate off the top, when Page yanks the Stinger through the ropes as Hogan hammers away on Flair with fists and his weightlifting belt.
Fuck that belt.
Hollywood keeps up the attack with a back body drop and a corner clothesline, leading to a Flair flop as DDP and Sting brawl around ringside, sending each other into the railing. And the Nature Boy fights back with an eye rake and chops, but it just means it's time to hulk up. Finger point, right hands, big boot, and the leg drop.
You forgot the run around the ring like a toddler. That's before the finger wag. Just for like chronological reasons.
He makes the cover as the Stinger is applying the Scorpion Deathlock to Page, only to release it to break up the penitent.
I mean, you got to.
Page again yanks Sting through the ropes and gives chase to continue to brawl, while inside, Nate begins to work the leg of Hogan, locking in the figure four, when DDP makes his way back in to stomp away, breaking up the hold.
Yeah, he's like stomping on Hogan's knee, which breaks the hold, but continues to work the knee of Hogan. Makes sense.
Page clotheslines Flair out of the ring, dragging Hollywood to the ring post to place a figure four around the steel, when the Stinger breaks it up.
Yeah, he pulls him off. It's funny that DDP looked like he was struggling getting that figure four on, but he's not the figure four guy.
And a trainer comes down to ringside to check on Hogan and helps him to the back, with even Eric Bischoff coming out to check on his friend.
Yeah, I believe they said that it was Doug Dillinger and the first guy, whose name we all know, and I can't remember it.
I mean, he was the trainer for WCW.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Danny Younger.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. I wrote it down.
Back inside the ring, Sting hits a drop kick, mounted punches, and a clothesline to the Nature Boy, while DDP just watches on from a corner.
He's trying to catch his breath.
But Nate fires back with chops, only for the Stinger to rally with a whip of his opponent.
No sell.
For a Flair flip to the apron, where Sting also nails a clothesline.
Yeah, you'd like to think that Sting knows the trick, as he has been here since, 88?
Yeah. They've had a few matches together.
Yeah.
And Page delivers a clothesline of his own for a near fall to rejoin the fray, stomps away on the Stinger, and keeps the Nature Boy at bay with a clothesline. DDP's back on the attack of Sting with back elbows, but a reversed whip leads to a Stinger splash. Oof. Only for Page to counter a body slam attempt into his finisher, which Sting escapes by shoving his opponent away to the ropes, with DDP bouncing back into a facebuster. The Stinger goes for a tombstone, but Page reverses it into one of his own, only for Nate to make the save and toss DDP out of the ring so he can focus on Sting, who fights back to nail a superplex and making the cover for the pin, and Flair kicks out. The Stinger's taken down by a back suplex by the Nature Boy before putting his opponent in a sleeper, when Page would return to apply a sleeper to Nate, until Sting breaks it all up with a jawbreaker.
Double jawbreaker.
DDP and Flair team up on the Stinger when they go for a double clothesline, only for Sting to duck and deliver a double clothesline of his own, followed by a face buster to Page. Stinger splash to the Nature Boy and placing him in the Scorpion Deathlock. Yeah. But DDP breaks it up. Sting then floats over a suplex attempt to nail a Scorpion Death Drop to Page, which leaves all three men down.
It's very funny. Macho Man's not a very good guest referee, but he is kind of entertaining. But there's like four guys that are stars, three at this moment because Hogan went back with the injured knee. But like the way Macho like counts is very funny, and I'm sure he started as a ref, but that was many, a couple kilos of cocaine ago.
Yeah. And Nate is up first to hit a rolling knee drop to the Stinger, locking in the figure four, which Sting rolls over to make the ropes. But Savage kicks his hand away and drags them to the middle of the ring.
I know, I was like, what the fuck are we doing?
Macho Man then heads up top for the flying elbow drop onto Flair.
Oh no.
With all three men still down. Only for Page to make it to his feet in time, taking the Stinger down with stomps. Turns to duck a chop attempt from the Nature Boy and catching him with the Diamond Cutter. Ooh. For the pin and the win. And new. Post-match, Savage raises DDP's arm, hands him the title, and leaves to the back, while Page celebrates in the ring as Tony says his goodbyes and we fade to black. So I ask you, Michael, what are your overall thoughts of Spring Stampede 1999?
I think this show is fun. I think that it has a better flow, feels fresher, and looks better than WrestleMania 15. I don't know this is like a necessary watch unless you are writing a book about WCW. But overall, I had a much better time with this than I expected. And I'll be interested to talk about mostly the main event.
I completely agree.
Yes.
Everybody put their working boots on and came ready. So I literally wrote, this show was great.
I had a blast. I really didn't expect to. There's some things that we can complain about.
My least favorite match is
Hack and Bam Bam or Riggs and Whipwreck.
Is probably Riggs and Whipwreck. And Mikey's still one of my favorite guys, so...
And it's not... I think Riggs had his working boots on. It's just that it was short and not kind of unnecessary.
That's the biggest thing. It was completely unnecessary for the show.
Yeah. But I was happy for Mikey.
Exactly.
So that means that I'm not mad about it. And I don't think anything on the show went so long that there was no reason not to have that match. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, that took away from something. Because I think everything was pretty well paced.
I think if they had given anything else, even if they had split up like that 6-7 minutes that Riggs and Whipwreck had, if they split it up into like 1 minute per match, there's a chance that some of those matches overstays their welcome.
Yeah, for sure. Like I was gonna say maybe just because I was having so much fun with it, and because it really kind of felt modern. The tag match is like one of the only ones, and it was probably one of the longest matches where I could have hung out there a little longer. But I didn't need to. But that's just because you got like 3 incredible workers and one guy that doesn't want to look like a fool in Raven. But that match felt very like modern in a good way, in a good modern tag match.
Absolutely.
Good. Where's the smart marks at? There. All right, fuck you.
I think it's time we smark it up. So what are some of the best moments of this show? I mean, that tag match.
Tag match was great. I would say that they brought Macho out. I kind of forgot how long it had been since we'd seen him.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then also him just looking completely different almost. Like, it's still obviously Macho Man Randy Savage, but he put on some weight and got extra tan, and there's a different air about him, for good or bad.
I mean, I think I can literally say something good about every match on this show.
Yeah.
Because, like, I didn't know who Blitzkrieg was,
but
I was impressed.
Yeah, he was good.
And I was sad when I saw that, like, literally it's the only time we're going to see him. I think I said that earlier.
Yeah, because, like, my takeaway with that was, like, who the fuck is this guy? But then I was like, well, I wouldn't mind seeing him, like, develop, because he's obviously got the bones for, like, he just needed a little bit of smoothing out. But it's like, this guy couldn't have been wrestling for incredibly long. I was intrigued by him.
I mean, like I said, the hardcore match, like, these two guys, even though it's a ECW match in a WCW ring, I still felt like they came out and
it was paced better. It was more visually appealing.
Yeah.
And
I mean, there's only a couple things in that match that kind of like was like I rolled my eyes at.
And that was Chastity's fault.
Yes, 2 of the things were Chastity's fault. One of the things was, I mean, Hack just doing his leg drop, which we know he should just not do the leg drop.
But it was not his worst one.
No, it was definitely not his worst one. Riggs looked good. But,
I was impressed by Riggs.
But Mikey always makes people look good. So
yeah, but I thought Riggs had a energy about him where he like really wanted to prove himself, and he had like a new coat of paint. He looked bigger, and it kind of felt like, oh, they might do something with him, which they probably don't. But he somehow felt more important than he had before.
Konnan and Disco Inferno, they have good chemistry together.
I agree.
So, like, I had no issue with the match.
It's funny because, like, Disco's, like, not the greatest worker, but he's very...
When he puts his boots on
Yeah.
and decides that he wants to show up to work.
Yeah. He's not, like, I don't think he's bad. He's just, like, Konnan was really great when he was younger.
Yeah.
He put on all this muscle and, like, had to change his style, and, like, the weight he's at now complements, like, Disco's ability and size.
Yeah. Kim and Mysterio, like...
I can watch these guys wrestle
Like,
every
obviously,
week.
like I said when we talk about it, I don't think it's my favorite match between them two.
But it doesn't suck.
But it was still very, very good.
You can watch... I feel like I could watch these guys wrestle every week.
I'm going to go ahead and say my one complaint because it's not even a disappointing thing.
Just
Yeah, it's a nitpicky thing. I do felt like they went to, like, chin locks a little bit too much for a cruiserweight match.
Yeah, but I think that was kind of almost in favor of Ray, that Kidman had to slow down.
So, well, I almost kind of feel like maybe this match was supposed to go longer, and then they were like, okay, we'll cut a few minutes out of this match.
Because Ray hit his head real hard on those stairs.
I mean,
and
so
he didn't sell it. He was actually like
the first chin lock was like I was okay with,
Yeah.
but when they started, like, both of them within, like, the span of, like, 2 moves, both went to chin locks. It was kind of like...
It seemed out of the ordinary, but also felt...
It's just a cruiserweight match you don't usually see.
Yeah,
like
kind of fresh.
Super nitpicky thing.
Also, Ray could have just been concussed.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about the tag match. We love the tag match. Steiner and Booker, I think they're... Could they possibly be each other's best opponent at this point?
I would say at this point, yes. I think that the Steiner, like, stalling and pure dickheadedness is really good and it works, but it kind of detracts from, like, my entertainment.
I can see that.
But just as to personal taste. But it obviously is working in the ring, and it's putting over him as a character, but I'm still always going to think about, like, my golden age Steiner, workhorse monsters. But you can't do that forever.
Mm-hmm. Nash's leapfrog.
Great. I mean, that was like a true surprise, and I wouldn't say my jaw dropped, but I did a yeah.
So, like, literally watching this, I thought back to the Bam Bam Goldberg match and how you were okay with Bam Bam, like, controlling a lot of the match.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like,
what Goldberg?
Bam Bam shouldn't be controlling against Goldberg.
But because he hasn't been booked that way.
But I was like, Kevin Nash doing it, I was totally okay with it.
I agree that it makes more sense. I just like Bam Bam more than I like Goldberg, so personal stuff's going to come into it. But as far as if we would just want to look at it as booking, people's importance, the way people have been pushed or, like, pushed to be perceived in ways, like, Nash is the 7-foot-tall monster.
Yeah. And then the main event, I thought was a fun main event.
Yeah.
It was actually, like, they were doing so much stuff in different places that it was kind of hard to, like, keep track of exactly what was happening, which isn't a bad thing when you're watching it.
Yeah.
When you're trying to take notes, it becomes a little
tougher
difficult
to take notes on. But the thing that I think they did well was that they made sure the important stuff happened in the ring.
Yes.
As opposed to where it's like, oh, they're brawling on the floor. So, like, as long as the like move or sequence that puts a guy down for like a minute is done in the ring or caught on camera, then we can just assume that they're brawling and putting each other into the steel or the apron or whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah, super fun show.
Yeah, I was really surprised. It also helped that it came off of a show that I was disappointed in. But
that does help sometimes.
I think that even if it was great, I wouldn't come here and shit on this. Like, even if WrestleMania was wonderful, I don't think that this is a show that not purely
WrestleMania would have had to have been like the best show ever for me to come and like be like, what the fuck is this?
Also, that you guys have heard us talk about WCW, and this is kind of one of the more, they're always up and down, and this was
we keep waiting for the shoe to fall off. And it didn't on this one.
No, they every once in a while they have moments, and this was a moment for them. DDP finally won the title, and I wasn't sure it was going to happen. I thought maybe they were going to put it on Sting because Sting is back. It made, as soon as Hogan left the ring with the knee, I was like, oh, he's going to come back. And then I was like, oh no, he just doesn't want to be there when Sting or DDP wins the belt. And then I was like, well, who's going to win the belt? It's going to be, it should be one of the two of them.
Yeah.
And then, and then Rick took the pin, which is cool because he probably respects DDP and understands that he should be the champion if you want this product to have legs.
How about most disappointing? I'm going to start with the main event on this one.
Okay.
That one, Hogan, chickened out of basically staying out there for the match.
Okay, and to that point, I think that it might just be a contract thing. He's like, all right, whatever. But I meant to say this before we got into the last match, but I'll bring it up here. No Michael Buffer.
There was no Michael Buffer at all.
No, it was a guy in a really awful cummerbund.
It's just David Pinzer.
Yeah, David Pinzer did a fine job, but it was just weird because when was the last time that we haven't said Michael Buffer in the main event or double main event? And this could have been considered a double main event show because it was Nash and Goldberg. But where's Michael Buffer? Are they just realize they've been wasting money?
Probably.
Yeah. Unnecessary, by the way. We don't need Michael Buffer.
Second point about the main event. We're about 6 months too late on DDP.
I agree. I was just happy for him.
I mean, I'm happy for him.
But
yes.
You're all right.
But this crowd has turned on DDP.
Yeah.
And he is not getting the pops that he was getting
when
he was battling the NWO, and we need to put the belt on him right now. And they just kept not doing it.
No, it should be Sting, but even with Sting, it's 6 years too late. It's 10 years too late.
Yeah.
Whatever. But Sting he's coming back, and people are still rocking Sting shirts. People were chanting, "We want Sting" in other matches on the show, and I'm happy for DDP. I thought it was gonna be Sting, and I wouldn't have been mad at that either. But I like DDP winning it more.
And the third thing,
let's hear it
for the main event. We got to do a better job with this video package.
Yeah,
because I think Macho and Flair had issues, and so that's why he came off the top and hit Flair.
I was confused,
but you literally could have told us that in the video package because you did the video package, which, by the way, we should commend WCW because we complained about it last pay-per-view.
Yeah.
They did a video package, had a match, and then the video package, or then the match that concerned with the video package that was 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
At least the video packages was right before the match that it was talking about.
They were put in the right place. I really thought that they spent a lot of time to make the Goldberg Kevin Nash one look really cool, but it didn't quite give you.
It didn't tell you anything.
It didn't give you enough information.
But I also think.
But it looked cool.
Yeah, it did look cool. That one, literally, that match was thrown together like the Nitro before.
Okay.
But
it still makes sense.
But you don't really. There's a built-in backstory for Nash and Goldberg.
Yeah.
So you don't really need to build that one up too much.
No, but you could at least explain it.
But this one, I feel like, especially for the main event, they needed to give us something
for the Macho Flair business.
Instead of just it's the 4 top guys in the company wrestling.
That's the only information we needed for this. Outside of that was the Flair Macho thing, because that was the only confusing thing about it. The rest of it all made sense to me.
Yeah. I don't know if there's anything else that I'm just I was oh, well, Chastity.
Yeah, she made a blunder.
The 2 blunders with the fire extinguisher and missing her mark to get into the ring. But
that's what happens when you bring people in from ECW.
Yeah. They don't know what cues are. How about best performer of the night?
Huh.
The Horsemen?
Yeah, it could be the Horsemen. It could be Perry Saturn even.
Actually, I like the Perry Saturn call.
Because Perry Saturn rules.
Or
let's hear it.
Should we give him his flowers? Because he was in the ring with 3 guys that are much better than him.
Raven.
And he held his own.
He held his own, but I couldn't call him performer of the night. I might give him a most improved.
Okay.
But he didn't eat that table like Saturn did.
That's true.
And then the other one, it could potentially be, even though I had like personal issues just because it's not really my thing, like Steiner really put over his character in such a great way with his like threatening of the ref and then using of the ref, but like basically bullying him to stop him from DQing because he doesn't want to get beat up by Scott Steiner if he does a DQ. And Booker, a lot of people really had great performances, but I would probably go Perry Saturn.
I like that pick. I mean, obviously you could throw a dart and someone would be okay with it.
Yeah, just don't give it to Hack.
Yeah.
Don't give it to Sandman.
And most surprising of the night, Macho Man coming back?
I think it was...
Or Sting coming back even?
I think it was... Yeah, it would probably be Macho or Sting, but that was also kind of a 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen either of them in such a long time. And they are iconic.
Blitzkrieg.
I mean, Blitzkrieg...
he surprised me just because I didn't know who he was.
No.
Never heard of him.
And then he
actually, I was like, this guy's pretty good.
Yeah. He definitely feels like a guy that could have been in like a
nice addition to the Cruiserweight division.
Yeah, or like if he continued to wrestle in like a year, he could have been one of the guys that gets more losses than wins in Best of the Super Juniors or something.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Turn the lights down, turn the projector on, because we're ready to rumble. This week we're covering Moon and Six Pits. It was released October 27th, 1942 by United Artists. Directed and written by Albert Lewin. It stars George Sanders, who's a one-time Oscar nominee, Herbert Marshall, and Doris Dudley. The plot of this one is the story of Charles Strickland, a middle-aged stockbroker who abandons his middle-class life, his family, and his duties to start painting, what he has always wanted to do. He is from now on an awful human being, wholly devoted to his ideal, beauty.
This has a Michael Temple movie written all over it. Scumbag. I love a scumbag.
Some trivia for this one. It was actually nominated for the Oscar in the Best Scorer category. It was based on the 1919 novel by W. Somerset Maugham.
What a name.
And Lewin left a high-paying job as an executive at MGM to make this film. He believed in it that much.
Yeah, I mean, also, he thought of himself as an artist. He may have seen some of himself in this. Maybe he was a double family guy.
And the last one here, 2 versions of the movie were filmed with different actresses playing one of the roles to accommodate audiences where marriage between a Polynesian and an Englishman were considered unacceptable. Some reviews and ratings of this one. IMDb has it at a 6.7, while Letterboxd is at a 3.3. And I found Bosley Crowther's review in the New York Times from 1942, where he says it's a tenuous concept on which to base a film. It offers little more than opportunity for cynical comment or mild philosophic speculation on the irony of the artistic life. Too much talk and too little action.
Hey, it's 1942. People aren't going there for art. People are going to the theater because you got time to kill.
My review of this film is our main character wasn't a man of words. So the writer and director decided to make his novelist a character, therefore making a decision to have the movie told to us instead of being shown. As a lot of the film is in narration, presenting the film almost as a biopic, even though it was just based on someone's life. It's not like a true story.
Yeah, but that might be because this guy hasn't made a movie before, and He just doesn't quite understand it, but he was intrigued by the story. Makes it sound like an interesting object, but to have like that big of a like machine behind you and then do something different even if it's not good, makes me more interested.
Some other filmmaking decisions include having the novelist drop things repeatedly early in the film, forcing his butler, who's a portly gentleman, to bend over and make grunting sounds to retrieve those items. So I literally said to myself, well, I was like, is this supposed to be a comedy? I was kind of confused, like watching this.
Yeah, because the movie feels self-serious, but then they're like, oh, this needs some jokes. What if the fat guy leans over? Yeah.
They would then make the decision to keep the film black and white while our main character is not painting. Then tint it in sepia when he makes it to Tahiti at the height of his prowess. And finish it off with Technicolor to show off his works at the end. Which was an interesting and successful decision.
Okay, so it worked.
That worked.
But the fact that he decided to tell you instead of write a script is the biggest issue here.
The wrestler in the film is Mike Mazurki.
Mazurki!
Our 5th time to see him. And he's playing Tough Bill. And I'll actually be honest, I did not see him. I looked back and forth for him in the movie.
You know what he looks like?
I know what he looks like, and I literally watched this. I skimmed through this movie like 4 times trying to find him.
If you listen to last week's episode, Mike Mazurki had like an actual role in the film that you covered, and you're well aware of Mr. Mazurki at this point.
So I literally couldn't give him a chance, or I couldn't find him, so there's a chance that IMDb is just wrong about him being in the film.
Yeah, maybe
which is where I get my list of movies from. So I gave the movie a 2.5, and I'm just going to give the rest of the performance a not applicable because
you couldn't find him.
I couldn't find him.
So where was the performance?
Exactly.
You can't judge a performance that you didn't see.
But if this film does sound interesting to you, you can find it on YouTube.
It does sound interesting, but it doesn't sound necessarily compelling. It has a terrible name.
Yes.
Moon and Sixpence is a terrible name for a movie.
Yeah. Most movies back then didn't have good names.
Yeah, probably true. I mean, even now they probably don't a lot of the time.
Next week, Backlash 1999.
Ooh.
No more In Your House. It was supposed to be an In Your House, but then they took the In Your House part out right before, like, the week of the show.
That was just like, there was a last minute decision.
So, like, the poster, if you find an old poster for it, it actually will say In Your House, like in small words. But music from this week's show is 9 Lives by Zach Tempest, and DDP won our main event, so we play Self High Five by Jimmy Hart and JJ Maguire.
Where's Jimmy Hart?
Like 1999 or 2026?
99. We know he's still alive. He's
in WCW. He's doing the First Family thing with Ming and Hugh Morris.
Okay, he's just chilling at the bottom of the card.
Yeah,
and
probably hanging out on Saturday nights.
Yeah. Well, he's one of those guys that is still somehow alive, and happy to hear it.
Yep. And if you like this episode or any of our other ones, please go out there and rate and review us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you find your podcast at. If you're doing the YouTube thing, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. But leave a comment. Let us know that you're partaking in our wares.
Absolutely. I mean, who else is putting out wrestling content this consistent and this chronological?
If there's someone else that's doing chronological, covering multiple companies, I should say. Because there are a couple other
they're doing
podcasts.
Like every show where it's like, we cover Thunder, or every week.
Yeah, because there's like, I know there's a Thunder podcast, there's a Ring of Honor podcast, there's a TNA podcast that like literally they're doing like every episode. And
oof. I mean, we're covering mostly pay-per-views, but we try to catch the big moments.
Yeah. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, recipes, Next, we're headed to Providence, Rhode Island next week for Backlash.
Smallest state, couldn't tell you a thing about their food. But I imagine it's very similar to the rest of the New England area.
Yeah. But you can send those things to WrestlingHistoryX@gmail.com or find us on X, Wrestling HistoX. That's Wrestling HISTO X. We'll talk to you next week.
Laters.